Hi guys, welcome back to the Mina Does Art Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Mina and on this channel we do art stuff. And today I am going to be filling the remaining 6 pans in this Qor Mini Granulators Palette. So I showed this in not my New York art haul, but the art haul I posted before that. I believe it was the May 2023 art haul. So I will try and remember to link it below in the description box for you guys, and I'll have links to these products below as well. This is, I think it's a fairly new product from Qor. Like these little, they had a 12 half pan set that they've had out for a few years now, but they've started doing these 6 pan sets in the same 12 half pan like overall palette, but with only 6 of them filled. And this is their Qor Mini Granulators set. So I went over this in the art haul, but it comes with ultramarine pink, ultramarine violet, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, chromium, cobalt teal and cobalt green. Apologies for my voice if I sound a bit weird. I'm just getting over some laryngitis, so I'm still sounding a bit hoarse, but believe me, I sound much better than I did a few days ago. And I'll try and edit out any fits of coughing. But yeah, so that's what the palette comes with. And I've already gone ahead and rearranged the pans to the order that I would want them in. So here we go. So I've got these 6 additional tubes of Qor watercolors. These are only 6 tubes I have, so it actually works out perfectly. So this will be a little Qor mini palette of my own. I do have another Qor watercolor palette that I filled with tubes I had before and things like that, but I wanted like a smaller, more travel friendly one, and I'm going to be going away with family in a couple of weeks, and I was thinking this might be the palette I take with me for that trip. It's just a week away. We're not going we're going away with my husband's parents. They have a little place up north where they go to every summer for a week, and this is our turn to go with them. We kind of alternate with my husband's sister in terms of which family gets to go with the parents. So this year's our year, and I just want to take a small little paint palette with me. So the colours that I have to go in here are buff titanium in... They actually, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this on camera, but they do have the wells labelled, or the half pan areas labelled with letters, and that corresponds with the letters on their swatch card as well. So I'll swatch them out after as well. But in the A pan, I'm going to be putting in Titan Buff, which is PW6:1. Then in pan B, I'm going to put Nickel Azo Yellow, which is PY150. Then in pan C, I'm going to put Quinacridone Gold, which is PO48 and PY150. Then in pan D, I'm putting in what Qor refers to as Quinacridone Burnt Orange, but it is a PR206 pigment, which a lot of other brands refer to as Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet, Brown Madder, all sorts of other names, but not typically called Quinacridone Burnt Orange. Quinacridone Burnt Orange is typically the PO48 pigment, so PR206 is what Qor calls their Quin Burnt Orange, so it's a bit confusing. Then in E, I have the Ultramarine Pink, and then in pan F, I'm going to put in Quinacridone Magenta. Then in L, I have Ultramarine Violet. Yep, that's the one. K is Ultramarine Blue, J is the Cerulean Blue Chromium, I is Cobalt Teal, H is going to be Green Gold, and then G is a Cobalt Green. I've already gone ahead and labelled the pans, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to fill them, and then I will swatch out the swatch card, and pretty much that'll be it for this video. It's going to be a really quick video. I just wanted to fill this palette so it has time to dry before we go away in a couple of weeks. Actually, it's less than 2 weeks away, about a week and a half. So yeah, I just want to get this ready so that it's good to go when the time comes. Okay, so those are the paints all poured in. Some of them I needed to use a little stirrer to mix up, as you would have seen, and so I just wiped off the excess onto the swatch card so you wouldn't waste the paint. And yeah, sorry about the lighting. We are at the end of the day. My kids are asleep and I finally have some time to sit down and paint. So this one is the Titan Buff. It's a nice warm sort of neutral creamy colour. And then we have the Nickel Azo Yellow, which is really bright. It is one of my favourite sort of mixing colours. And then we have Quinacridone Gold, which is another favourite of mine. And then we have what they call Quinacridone Burnt Orange, but it's the PR206, was it? Yeah, PR206, which is more of a brown madder type colour, or Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet. Definitely wouldn't call it an orange, let alone Quinacridone Burnt Orange. More like a burnt red kind of colour. Then we have Ultramarine Pink. There's a bit of that Quinacridone Burnt Orange splattered there, that's fine. The brush I'm using is a Royal and Langnickel Mini Majestic Water Dagger, I believe. It doesn't actually say it on the barrel, but if I remember correctly, that's what it was. Then F is our Quinacridone Magenta. This is PR122. I believe Ultramarine Pink is PR259, something similar. Can't remember. Then in G over here we have Cobalt Green. Followed by Green Gold in H. I really like the PY129, which is this pigment. It's a great mixer to make really vibrant, warm greens. And Cobalt Green, I believe it's PG26, but I can't remember exactly for Qor's version, if that's the same pigment. Then in I we have Cobalt Teal, which is PG50 with Qor, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It might be PB28, I'm pretty sure it's PG50. And then in J we have the Cerulean Blue Chromium. Which I actually prefer to a regular cerulean. I believe this is the PB36 version of cerulean. It's just slightly warmer, which I prefer. And then K we have Ultramarine Blue, or French Ultramarine, I believe. Is it Ultramarine or just French Ultramarine? Oh, just Ultramarine Blue. And then lastly here we have Ultramarine Violet, which I believe is PV 15. Oh, and French Ultramarine Blue is PV 29. But I believe Ultramarine Violet is PV 15. Okay. So that's the rather odd palette of 12 colours. This isn't like something I would typically put together for a palette in terms of a colour selection. I think it'd be interesting. It doesn't have any of my typical pre-mixed greens included. I would usually have a olive green or a sap green or both. So this will be interesting. I do like having a quinacridone magenta as a cool red. In this case, I guess the quinacridone burnt orange will be acting as my warm red. And then I have nickel azo yellow. In this instance would be the quote-unquote cool yellow, and quin gold would be the warm yellow, or alternatively green gold could be the cool yellow. And then you've got a couple of blue options as well, one slightly warmer than the other. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Maybe I'll do some colour mixing and share that with you as well in this video. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do some colour mixing and we'll see what kind of secondaries we can get from mixing with these. And yeah, just have a little bit of fun and play around with the palette. I ended up just doing some greens and purples just to see how the colours mixed and what sort of options there are. I really love some of these greens. I think there's some really interesting green mixes up here. Like this nickel azo yellow with cobalt green. Like these mixes are really lovely and granulating, and I just love these sorts of warmer green colours. I just absolutely love them. Nickel azo yellow, ultramarine blue. Again, really lovely, beautiful greens. Same with quin gold. With quin gold, you get slightly more muted, browner leaning greens, which again, really great for certain applications. And then with green gold as well, you get slightly brighter greens, especially with the cobalt teal there. And even with the cobalt green, it just brightens it up quite nicely. And then with the purples, I use quin magenta, ultramarine violet, ultramarine pink, and mix those with the blues that I have. And again, got some really beautiful mixes there. I actually quite like this mix between ultramarine pink and ultramarine violet. You get really lovely, softer, more gentle purple violet colours. And yeah, and I love these sort of more greyish, more muted, greyed out violets you get with the cobalt teal as well, which I think is really quite pretty. But yeah, anyway, that was it. That was all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Anyway, like I said before, links to everything down below, and I will see you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.